Welcome back to the Hot 7 Nightly News. Thank you for staying with us. A resident of Castries is calling for assistance to address a long-standing problem of extreme amounts of garbage left on her doorstep by Mother Nature. She says the matter is out of hand, affecting residents negatively, and not enough attention is being paid to it by those in charge.
One resident of New Village is calling on authorities to remedy a situation which has plagued her community for as long as she can remember. Dorothy Alexander said she has lived in the area since 1981, and over the years, one of her biggest issues has been the onslaught of garbage that comes rushing down the small river directly in front of her house and settles practically on her doorstep. Upon arrival, Hot 7 News was shown the shocking settlement, which would require at least a backhoe to clear it up. Alexander said her neighbors are even more so affected.
It's been how many years since they have been like that? How many years? They always flood. When heavy rain, it does flood. Water does go in all the neighbors' houses, especially there. It doesn't really go there. There's more coming. The water that's coming in my yard, if a lot of mud, but it doesn't go inside because it's on pillars. But it does flood a lot when heavy rain. A lot of old run shields, pieces of log, old mattress, stove, old fridge, old washing machine. So when you come there, the water not getting no space to pass, so it's sticking there. Yeah. The whole place will be flooded.
And how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel a type of way because that's where we live in. So I doesn't feel good because all these things causing sickness, causing rash on your skin. It's not healthy.
Alexander said she also has an issue with the time taken to clean up the garbage. She said it is a major attraction for all types of vector.
Another thing I find they're supposed to do more often, to clean the drains more often. Because most of them people is right up there. It doesn't really throw rubbish to say we throw in. If you have a little paper, a little nylon, but to say really throw them logs and them things, the people right up, especially when heavy rain, it just drop it in the yard.
Alexander expressed relief over the news that a Styrofoam and Single-Use Plastic Food Container Act has been passed. She said these items make up a major part of the garbage accumulated. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Rochelle Gonzalez.
A routine weekly cleanup of a drain in Castries is shedding light on a portion of a major issue in the city. Piles of garbage, mainly styrofoam and plastic bottles, were shoveled out of the drain, an issue which one CCC supervisor said causes intense flooding during heavy rainfall due to the blockages. Rochelle Gonzalez reports.
The dirty reality of the littering habits of locals has been exposed during a routine cleanup by the workers of the Castries City Council. The task, which was being undertaken along the Chaussee Road on Tuesday morning, highlighted only a small portion of the problem. However, the evidence was still more than enough to cause shock and embarrassment. Supervisor in the sanitation department of the CCC, Arthur Charles, said it is the task of the CCC workers to clear the drains on a weekly basis. However, this one area in particular is troublesome. He said if the built-up garbage is not cleared as often, it will result in extreme flooding of the area. He expressed disappointment and frustration in the source of the problem, people and their bad habits of littering.
What you see here is because of the way people are dumping the garbage indiscriminately. Number one, all those styrofoam plates and plastic cups and nylon bags, all these things end up here. Now there's a grill there, as you can see, which traps it. So when it traps it, it gets blocked, the water can't go through, and then the road is at to overflow on the road. And that's where you have problems now, all over town.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me roughly how much garbage?
Oh, tons of garbage, tons. I mean, you came in the lake to see tons of garbage here, from both holes, from that side and that side. And here was flooded. So we have tons of garbage here every week. Anytime it rains, it's problem in Castries. Now these days, it haven't rained for a while, and it haven't flooded for a while, because we clean it weekly to avoid the flooding. Yeah, we know the main areas to clean to avoid the flooding in town.
Charles said while St. Lucians need to take better care of their surroundings, the laws on littering need to be enforced.
Lucians have not learned to dispose of the garbage in the proper way. If there was, there's laws, but it's not been policed to say they charge you for littering and these kind of things. So I am saying I want government to pass the law to ban those cups and plates and these kind of things.
Well, the law has been passed, and come August 1st, they will no longer be allowed to be imported, styrofoams, etc. And come August 1st, 2020, they will not be allowed to be sold at all. So how does that make you feel?
Good. So I'll not be seeing all these things in our drains again. I hope so. I hope so. If the government have what it takes to do it, let's hope so.
Charles implored persons to refrain from littering and dumping their garbage indiscriminately. He said persons go as far as dumping fridges, stoves and washing machines into the rivers and canals, hoping that heavy rains will wash them away. This practice, he said, should be stopped immediately. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez.
The negotiation table is a platform that allows for long-standing issues to be resolved and thereafter agreed benefits must be implemented. This was not the case for the daily paid workers of Wasco, represented by the National Workers Union. According to the union, as far back as 2013 to 2014, a 10% agreed wage increase for workers in the sewer department was never implemented. The NWU is calling for a disciplinary hearing and a financial investigation into the matter. Solange Alfred reports.
An agreed-upon 10% increase for workers in the sewer department of the Water and Sewage Company Wasco back in 2013-2014 has only recently been implemented after pressure was applied by the NWU, who is the bargaining agent for the daily paid workers of Wasco. Deputy President General NWU Solis Myers says the very nature of the job demanded something extra be given to the workers, and for the company to not implement the agreement is a slap in the face of negotiations.
We were able to negotiate a 10% premium for workers in the sewer department, given the nature of their job, so they would get a little more. Following that, we would have done adjustments across the board for all of our workers, and in our investigations in terms of making sure everything is correct, we found out maybe about 5 months ago that the original benefit that we negotiated for the 10% was never paid to these workers. For us as a union, we find it very concerning because we would have sat down at a negotiating table and come up with that agreement. Both parties would have signed off on the collective agreement in the presence of the Labour Commissioner at the Labour Department. And you have a situation where the administration or the implementation of the benefits was not carried out on the part of the company. So we're calling for a full-fledged investigation into that and some sort of disciplinary action, because we do not believe that it is fair that the workers should be placed under such undue stress as a result of that, because it has implications for their families, their bills, etc. And it's something that was negotiated mutually.
Myers says, though resolve has been brought to the matter, a thorough financial investigation needs to be carried out by the company. She expresses her disdain with the overall situation and says, moving forward, the NWU admonishes such behavior.
We're taking it very, very seriously. We've called for the investigation, as I mentioned previously, and coming out of that, we really do not want this to happen again, not only at Wasco or anywhere that we have any sort of, negotiations that we carry out on behalf of our people.
Myers says, though the anxieties faced by the workers have been pacified with the resolution of the situation, the weight of the matter is still a heavy burden for the union to carry.
The workers have received their monies, their retro pay, and the premium has been added to their rate as well. But we need to take it a step further, because when you're dealing with collective agreements and negotiations, it's a spirit within which both parties come to a mutual agreement and understanding as it relates to a series of benefits related to the workers that we sit down together, we hash out and we agree to. It's really not fair within the spirit of industrial relations for us to come to that agreement, fix our signatures to a document, and then when it comes time to honor it, you have that kind of situations, leaving workers feeling really anxious and not sure exactly what is going on with them, their future, and, the whole industrial relations process.
On Wasco's part, Myers says they have acknowledged receipt of the union's concerns and are in the process of going through with their investigations. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solange Alfred.
Thank you, Solange. The National Calypso 1 Act semi-final is expected to be one like no other, as 18 qualifiers will battle their way to securing their spot in the next round of competition at the National Cultural Center on June 30th. with the best of the initial competitors from each tent. South Calypso tent represents with 3 Calypso contenders, followed by TOT Soca Village with 4 Calypso rivals lined up, and Fire One, which made its debut in 2018 to the Calypso tent arena with a rock-solid 8 challengers. The competition is expected to be a tough one, and the anticipation is building as these 18 qualifiers will be competing for one of the 9 demanded spots in the National Calypso Monarch competition, with the hope of defeating the reigning Calypso King, T.C. Brown, who captured the Calypso Monarchy in 2018.
We have Wally on the calendar. We have Manel, Reddy, Ambrose, the Juice Man, Educator, Solange, Ticaro, Taker, Blaze, Chocolate, Mighty Sizzler, Moggy, Teddy Boy, Her Black, Ocean, Nintus, Ashanti, and Trish.
Tickets are available at Steve's Barbershop at a cost of $30 in advance and $40 at the door. Gates open at 5 p.m. with the start of competition at 6 p.m. You're watching the Hot 7 Nightly News. Stay with us. There's more news coming up after the break.